What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my bat channel. Blah. What's going on, guys? It's Leo. I'm back here in San Marcos, Texas, finally taking a break after 5 weeks of getting it done. And no, actually that's 6 weeks, so I'm incorrect. So let me correct myself. 6 weeks. Got myself out there, got it done. Not bad. Have no complaints, except for a few things that I could have made or have done to make it better for myself. So there's a couple things I want to bring up in the video for all you guys that are just curious as to what it is I'm doing and why my fingers are so dirty, because you're always busy. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I'm actually on my 7th day. I head out tomorrow, Tuesday, back to do another 5 weeks to make some money. But being back home with my family, my wife, my kids, being able to see my parents, see my granddaughters and grandkids and everybody else. It's been a wonderful time to be here. Actually, it's the first time I got to see this house since we moved in from San Antonio. And I tell you what, completely happy. Anyways, back to the task at hand, what it is I wanted to do on this video, just to try to explain to you guys my experiences on my first 6 weeks being out there doing a HotShot. As you guys already know, previously I was a project manager. I was making about $85,000 a year, but I was cooped up in the office almost 16 hours a day. It seemed like the job never stopped. When I got home, I was working in my office. I never really saw daylight. Very seldom did I spend time with my family, and really my health was just deteriorating. I gained 20 pounds. I wasn't working out anymore. I just lost all conception of reality at that time, and it's when I realized it was time to change. So that's when I got into the whole HotShot business. How I got into was actually my old boss over at that office I used to work for, who got into the business and brought me on. I have a truck and I have a 32-foot trailer, and I got leased on under somebody else's authority. And I'll come back to that later of what that means in being in this business. So since the beginning, a few things that I got for myself to get the job started was an F-350. And I tell you, that was probably the first mistake I made out there in the field. Because really, with an F-350, I mean, I might as well be CDL pulling a bigger trailer and hauling more weight. But I don't have a CDL. I am a non-CDL HotShot. So that means basically an F-350, I really don't need it. To tell you the truth, I could have done all this with an F-250, but nonetheless, that's the first mistake I made. I probably could have did a lot better job thinking about it or listening to my wife, as she already knows, that, hey man, sometimes getting all the bells and whistles and the bigger truck is not all that it's cracked up to be. You know, I mean, really, I don't need the F-350, but I did it anyways. So then I got my 14GN, 28 plus 5, it's with the mega ramps. Bought that puppy brand new, put $3,000 down, financed the rest, and I tell you what, it's a great trailer. A few things I think big techs could really do is some quality checkups on basically before these trailers go out, but those are some minor details that I'll bring up later. Nonetheless, the 14GN has pulled its weight. The most I put on that trailer was about 11,000 pounds. No, actually it was 10.5. And it pulled like a champ. One thing I should have done in the beginning was get the 14-ply tires. Now, I'm still running on 10-ply tires, which is fine. I want to run through them until I need to get some better tires. But before you buy the 14 or buy any trailer, make sure that before you make that deal, you get the 14-ply tires on the trailer mixed in that deal. Because if not, they're going to give you a 10-ply. And really, 10-ply will do the duty, but you're going to end up blowing a tire sometimes. And luckily, it hasn't happened to me, and I still haven't got 14-ply tires. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to make another 5 weeks without it. But I definitely probably going to need it in the following weeks after that. So in saying that, I got my truck, got my trailer. I became an owner-operator. I do not have my authority, so that means I have to lease out under somebody else. So in doing that, you ought to do your research. In reality, just going in blindly is probably not the best thing to do. So make sure the people you work with has been in business for some time. Not to say the company I work for is not a great company, but there's a few things I probably should have checked out before I just jumped on. I work for a company that's only 6 months into in the game, so that means all of our insurances as owner operators are through the roof. So I pay a lot of money a week in the insurance. So I pay probably about $750. That's insane, $750 a week. And I paid 25%, which will go down to 20% after 6 months being on this company. But nonetheless, do your research out there. Make sure you're gonna make the right decisions on what it is you wanna do and how much money you wanna make. Other than that, man, my first 5 weeks, I keep saying 5, I mean to say 6, man. So my first 6 weeks were rough. I wanted to do a month out, come back and do a week at home. But really, in reality, when I got that truck, I didn't do a complete overhaul on basically doing a systems checkup because I bought that truck used with 50,000 miles, straight from Norfolk, Utah. Not Norfolk. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Out of Utah. So anyways, the reason why I'm bringing this up is when you're out there in the field, you're going to need some sort of capital. Because if you don't realize it, you're going to go down. Something's going to happen. It may not happen your first run to second run. It may happen your first and second run. It doesn't matter. You need money in the bank to basically make sure that you get out of there alive and safely and don't have to spend an arm and a leg. Well, this guy, right? I didn't do a systems check on that truck before I bought it. So basically when I was out in the field, this is what happened. My bearings went out. And luckily I didn't have a load on my back because I caught the sound before and I've dealt with this issue. I had my bearings freeze on me, so I knew I needed to get my truck in the shop quickly. And that's my wife making just beautiful noises. Thank you.
12 seconds later.
I heard my bearings. I could have took the chance and took a job to Connecticut and just basically maybe took the chance of making that money and build out a big load for that week, or I could put my truck in the shop and accrue basically a less, more fortunate or unfortunate. I don't know. Really, I'm gonna stop right there. Anyways, when you're out there in the field, you definitely want some capital in the bank because, like me, my bearings went out. Cost me a little bit over $2,400, and I was out for 5 days because they didn't catch it the first time around. And when I went to pick up the truck, sure enough, I made sure that I test drove the truck, and I found out that the other bearing was still making the same noise. So I went back there, and of course, it cost me another $1,200. The good part about it is I got some free brakes and an oil change because they made that mistake. I almost drove off having the same issue. But nonetheless, I'm trying to tell you, have some money in the bank for those things that happen while you're on the road. A blowout, you need a new tire, whatever. You blow out 2 tires, your bearings, your engine, whatever the case may be. Don't go out there dry and empty and think you're gonna be okay your first month out, however long you decide to do this job. I decided to drive across the nation because being in the office, it drove me crazy and I wanted to see the countryside. And I tell you what, I didn't make a mistake. I lost about 15 pounds, look great, feel great, and I'm about to make my next 5 weeks out tomorrow. So guys, I'm not gonna make this a super long video, but there are a lot of things you wanna do is straight up research on everything you wanna do. You need to service your truck, you need to service your trailer, you need to rotate your tires almost every time you come back. Man, there's a lot of things in this business that you need to know before you get started. So don't just go in there and grab everything you want and then be broke, because that's what I did. I went in with only a couple grand in my bank, you know what I mean? Hopefully I was gonna, generate more. No, well, the mishap happened on the first run out and it tanked me. But I'm coming up, it doesn't matter because I'm not giving up. This is something I wanna do and I'm not gonna give up on it, and we're gonna see how this ride goes. So anyways, like I said, I'm back at home. Love you guys, thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you like what you see. And hey, we'll see you next time. Take it easy.